Welcome to the French Newfie. I'm Erin McDonald. Today I'm going to make a chicken meatball spaghetti, and Valentine's Day is just over, and for some reason I always think of Valentine's. I associate it with Lady and the Tramp. Disney used to air it every Valentine's Day, and I loved seeing the two dogs meeting in the middle with that spaghetti strand. And so I made it for Valentine's Day the other night, and I'm going to show you how I made this chicken meatball spaghetti. I like to use chicken meatballs. It just lightens it up. It's a little lighter than using the beef. So first of all, I'm going to show you how I make a really quick and easy spaghetti sauce. So let's get the pan on and get started with that. As well, I have my big pot, as you can see, of spaghetti that's boiling, and I'm using a multi-grain pasta as well. And again, I just like to have that for the added fiber. So just gonna get a little bit of olive oil down into my pan, and I'm gonna quickly chop this onion. I'm gonna leave the other half for my chicken meatballs. There you go, just get that off. Perfect. And the spaghetti is already inside. The whole grain pasta is in my pot, and I have it seasoned. And you want to season the water always. That's the only chance that you get to actually season your pasta. And swirl around the pan. Get the oil just moving around like so. Go back to my onion. Half of my onion. There we go. Perfect. I also have some garlic that I'm gonna add. Garlic and spaghetti sauce and pasta. It just all goes really well. And I'm also gonna add, as I said, the garlic. And I have this little garlic press, and I find that it works really, really well. You don't spend time chopping the garlic. And straight into my onions and my pan that's going. See how well that comes out. It's beautiful. It's so easy. There you go. And get that down. And now we're just going to move everything around into the pan. I'm going to add some oregano, and oregano is classic for spaghetti. So get a little bit of that oregano down, and just pinch it. You want to pinch it so it wakens up that herb. A good amount of the oregano. There we go, nice big pinch of that. I'm gonna add some chilies, and I'm doing this first because I want everything to kind of toast up and waken up. There you go. Waken up a little bit of those chili flakes. I like a lot of heat, so I'm gonna have a spicy meatball and spicy tomato sauce. Basil as well, and I'm not gonna do it all because I'm gonna leave some for later. So just a little bit for now to go into my sauce, and save some for later on top. It's gonna be so yummy and delicious. There we go, just chop it up. Perfect. This is what they call a chiffonade. It's like ribbons, so that's what we're doing with basil. Now get that straight into the pan. Wow, you can really smell that basil. I love basil so much. And now I'm gonna go in with my beautiful strained tomatoes. And these are great. They're Italian tomatoes. They're strained. No messing around, no chopping or blanching your tomatoes. It's done for you. So get that in straight away. Perfect. And while I'm making my meatballs, the onions are gonna soften. Everything is gonna come together, and you have a beautiful tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce that you made on your own. It's basic and it's very delicious. Just give a little look here at my pasta. That's perfect. And I want my pasta as well to be al dente, which is, I say, almost done. There needs to be a little bit of bite. I don't like it like baby food. You want a bite to your pasta. So just give that a mix around. I'm also gonna add some salt and pepper. We need seasoning. It was just strained tomatoes, so there was no salt in that box. A good amount of salt. There's a lot of sauce here, so just don't worry about how much salt you're using. Well, worry about it, but don't be too skimpy on it because you do need to season it. And some cracked black pepper. Now that that's done, I'm going to continue to chop my onion. That's gonna go into my beautiful chicken meatballs here today. And I'm gonna do this chop a little bit finer because it's going into the meatballs. I don't really want a big piece of onion in my meatball. Just gonna do it the proper way this time so that I'm getting smaller pieces of my onion, just like that. And little slivers down. Perfect. There you go. And then turn it over and just small chops for the remaining back piece of the onion. Great. Now I'm going to bring over my chicken. I have minced chicken, and that's what you need for the meatballs. If you can't find minced chicken, you probably will need to mince it yourself if you have a mincer, but I have found some, which is excellent. Bonus. And using chicken for the meatballs is different. It's a little less fatty than using beef, but the thing about chicken mince is that it's very wet. So for my meatballs, I don't use any eggs, but I will need a binder, and I'm going to use breadcrumbs. Today I'm going to be using seasoned breadcrumbs, and you can use the not seasoned breadcrumbs. Sometimes I use that as well, I just add seasoning, but today I'm using these seasoned breadcrumbs. It's just what I'm in the mood for. And now I'm going to go in with that onion, but there is quite a bit here, so I'm only going to use half, and I use onion in almost everything, so the onion will not go to waste. I'll use that later for something else. I also have some parsley, and I want to add the parsley that I've chopped earlier. And parsley, it's chopped Italian parsley, so Italian meatballs, spaghetti, it all goes well. Just like this, swirling it around. I'm gonna turn down my heat, just a drop. I have my oven on, 350 degrees. I want my meatballs to cook up really fast because I don't want my pasta to be really soft and overdone. Salt and pepper, of course. Pepper like that. A good pinch of salt. Perfect. A little bit of Parmesan cheese. It's gonna make it really nice and buttery in my chicken meatballs. And a little bit of chili flake. So I have chili flake in the sauce, and now I'm adding chili flake in my meatballs. Nice and spicy. I made them for Valentine's Day. They were so delicious. I gotta get my hands into the mixture. There's no way around it. You gotta get in there. Just get that in. I should have taken off my ring before. I'll just have to scrub it later. You can get your hands all around. It's really wet. The minced chicken is wet, so if you had an egg in here, you'd have almost like soup on your hands, and that's not good. Again, with meatballs, I don't like to overwork them. It's gonna make a really nice, tender meatball if you don't pack it too tightly. So just make sure that it's kind of uniform. And the reason I don't like to do my meatballs, my chicken meatballs, in the sauce on the stove top is because it's chicken. I want it to make sure that it's cooked all the way through. So I do mine in the oven and then finish it in the sauce, which I will show you later. So now just form them into little meatballs. Again, don't put too much pressure, but make sure that they don't come apart. Just a meatball like that. So just go around. Let me bring my pan over here. Always bring your things closer to you. And just keep going. I'm gonna do a few more. Get it all around like that. Perfect. Another one. And there you go. So now my beautiful chicken meatballs are done. I'm gonna get them into the oven. I'm gonna wash up. They're gonna take around 20 minutes in the oven. I do want a little bit of color on them, and then we're gonna get them into our beautiful sauce, plate up. It's gonna be so delicious and spicy and yummy. So my chicken meatballs are now out of the oven. They've been in there for around 20 minutes, like I said, so they have a nice little brown crusty bit on the outside. My sauce is done as well. And my pasta has been drained, the whole wheat pasta. So what I like to do is just get it straight into the sauce, just like that. And if it gets a little bit dry, you can always add some of the pasta water that I have reserved in the bottom here, but it looks good at the moment, so I'm not gonna add any of that. And just swirl it all around so that you get coated. And because the pasta is still nice and warm, it's gonna absorb that fresh tomato sauce that I made on my own. And if you want to use the jar type, go ahead, but this is a really nice way to show you that you can make your own tomato sauce. And it can also pair well as, say, a pizza sauce. So this recipe would be great to put on the bottom of your pizza. And we're gonna go in for my lovely meat chicken balls that I made earlier and baked off into the oven. And again, these are nice and spicy and they're light. It's a lighter version. And of course, you're using the whole grain pasta. It's a little tiny bit more healthy than you would get from the beef with the white pasta noodles. Again, just give it a swirl so that you get some of the nice homemade tomato sauce all over those chicken meatballs. It's gonna be so yummy, and I'm just gonna get a little bit onto the plate, scoop it up, and get all that down onto a pretty plate, just like that. This smells really, really wonderful. I can also smell the oregano that I put into the meatballs earlier. So delicious. And don't forget those meatballs. Pile them all around the plate. Finish off my meatballs, chicken meatballs and spaghetti with some extra love, Parmesan cheese, a nice sprinkle of that. Beautiful. Lovely. And of course, some nice basil. Just tear the leaves off, down around, scattered around like that. This is a beautiful chicken spaghetti meatballs. I hope that you give it a try. Enjoy.